Have you ever wondered what would happen if you ate eggs every single day? I did too, so I decided to run a little experiment on myself. For 2 full weeks, I ate eggs every day, and the changes I noticed were pretty surprising. Today, I'm going to share everything that happened to my body and mind, from the good to the not so good. Stick around, because some of these results might just convince you to grab a carton of eggs on your next grocery run. So, let's set the scene. Before this experiment, my breakfast was a chaotic mix of whatever I could find. Sometimes cereal, sometimes just coffee, and often nothing at all. I was feeling a bit sluggish in the mornings and often found myself reaching for snacks way before lunchtime. I knew I needed a change. Eggs seemed like the perfect solution. They're cheap, easy to cook, and packed with nutrients. My goal was simple. Eat at least 2 eggs every single day for 14 days and see what happens. Day 1 started with a simple scramble. It was quick, easy, and honestly, pretty delicious. The first thing I noticed was how full I felt. That feeling of fullness wasn't heavy or bloated, but satisfying. I drank my usual cup of coffee and headed off to work. Usually, by 10 a.m., my stomach would be rumbling, demanding a snack. But on this first day, 10 a.m. came and went, and I was still feeling perfectly content. It wasn't until around noon that I even started thinking about lunch. This was a huge change for me. That early morning snack craving was completely gone. This pattern continued throughout the first week. My mornings became much more productive. Instead of being distracted by hunger, I could focus entirely on my work. The sustained energy was incredible. I realized that the protein and healthy fats in the eggs were providing a slow, steady release of energy. Unlike the quick sugar rush and subsequent crash I'd get from a bowl of sugary cereal, my energy levels weren't just better in the morning. I felt more stable throughout the entire day. That typical 3 p.m. slump, it became much less severe. I wasn't desperately searching for a candy bar or another coffee to get me through the afternoon. Now, let's talk about the nutritional powerhouse that is the egg. Before I started, I did a little research. A single large egg has about 70 calories, 6 grams of high-quality protein, and 5 grams of healthy fats. It also contains essential vitamins and minerals like vitamin D, vitamin B12, choline, and selenium. Choline, in particular, is super important for brain health, affecting memory and mood. I was curious to see if I'd feel any smarter. By the end of the first week, I can't say I suddenly turned into a genius, but I definitely noticed a boost in my mental clarity. My focus was sharper, and I felt less mental fog, especially in the mornings. It was like the gears in my brain were turning more smoothly. I was able to tackle complex tasks with more ease and felt generally more alert and present. It is hard to say if this was just the eggs, or a combination of having a consistent, nutritious breakfast. But the correlation was hard to ignore. Another surprising benefit I noticed was with my workouts. I usually go to the gym 3 to 4 times a week. During this experiment, I felt like my muscle recovery was faster. I was less sore after my lifting sessions, and I had more stamina during my cardio workouts. The high-quality protein in eggs is crucial for muscle repair and growth, so it makes sense that giving my body a solid dose of it every morning was helping my fitness goals. I felt stronger, and my body just seemed to be functioning more efficiently. Okay, so it all sounds pretty amazing, right? But was it all sunshine and perfectly poached eggs? Not entirely. There were a couple of challenges. First, there's the issue of variety. Eating eggs every single day can get boring if you don't mix it up. The first few days of scrambled eggs were great, but by day 5, I needed a change. So, I had to get creative. I started making omelets packed with spinach and mushrooms. I tried fried eggs on avocado toast. I made frittata muffins that I could grab on the go. This forced creativity was actually a fun side effect, and it made me a much more versatile breakfast cook. The second challenge was the cholesterol question. We've all heard the old advice that eggs are bad for your cholesterol. This is a topic that has seen a lot of back and forth in the scientific community. For decades, we were told to limit our egg intake. However, more recent research has shown that for most people, dietary cholesterol from foods like eggs has a minimal impact on blood cholesterol levels. Our bodies are pretty smart. When we eat more cholesterol, our liver produces less of it. The real culprits for high cholesterol are often saturated in trans fats. Still, I was mindful of this. I made sure the rest of my diet was balanced, with plenty of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. It's important to remember that everyone is different. If you have a history of heart disease or high cholesterol, it's always best to talk to your doctor or a registered dietitian before making a big change to your diet like this. For me, I didn't experience any negative side effects, but it's a valid concern to be aware of. As I entered the second week, the positive effects just became more pronounced. My new morning routine felt completely natural. Wake up, cook eggs, and start the day feeling energized and focused. My skin even started to look better. I can't prove it was solely the eggs, but they are a good source of vitamins like biotin and other nutrients that support skin health. My complexion looked a bit brighter, and I had fewer minor breakouts. It was an unexpected but very welcome bonus. One of the biggest takeaways for me was the impact on my overall eating habits. Because I started my day with such a healthy, satisfying meal, I found myself making better food choices throughout the rest of the day. When you're not ravenously hungry, you're less likely to grab the first convenient, unhealthy thing you see. I was more inclined to choose a salad for lunch or a healthy snack in the afternoon. It was a ripple effect that improved my entire diet. So, after 14 days of eating eggs every single day, what's the final verdict? For me, the experiment was a resounding success. The most significant changes were sustained energy, improved focus, and a drastic reduction in mindless snacking. I felt stronger during my workouts and even noticed my skin looked better. The key was keeping the preparations interesting and ensuring the rest of my diet remained balanced. Will I continue to eat eggs every single day forever? Probably not. I like variety too much, but I will absolutely be incorporating them into my diet on a much more regular basis, especially on days when I know I need to be at my sharpest. They've become my go-to breakfast for a powerful start to the day. If you're feeling sluggish or struggling with snack cravings, I'd highly recommend giving it a try. Maybe start with a week and see how you feel. Remember to listen to your body and consult with a professional if you have any health concerns. It's a simple, affordable change that could make a huge difference in how you feel every day. Have you ever tried something like this? Let me know about your experience in the comments below. I'd love to hear your story. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video helpful or interesting, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this. It really helps us out. We'll see you in the next one.